perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good. Welcome to the Morning Show. 100.9 for 38. We're live. Ready to get things right here on home for Alabama. Tide 109 and 38 a.m. once again. I want to invite you to get in the conversation. 205 342 9944. All right. Got feedback. We're gonna work through that issue, but want to get you in on the conversation. 205 342 9944. Or get your thoughts, your comments, and your reactions in on the chat on Facebook at Martin Houston, the Martin Houston Show. We love to get you in and get your thoughts in on several of the conversations that we have for today. Got several interesting topics that we're going to get to today. And want to invite you once again to get in on that conversation. I'll tell you about those in just a moment. Want to thank you for getting up and at it with us this morning for the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care. Dr. Box OD, taking care of business. Love to have you come on out and see him over at Box Eye Care. I was able to go by and see him on yesterday. To get my new glasses. I was in and out. His staff did a great job, and they'll do the same for you. That's Box Eye Care. BoxEyeCare.com, located at their new location, 205 342 0660, and their new location, 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That new lab will get you in and out. Great choices. Competitive prices, great value, best selection in town. And we will continue to invite you to stay connected with them. That's Box Eye Care. And this is, once again, the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care. And we want to thank the Lord for another day in which he's made, and encourage you and invite you to take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today as you go out and rejoice over it. All right. Excuse me. As I mentioned, it's an exciting Tuesday morning. So here's a couple topics that I'd like to toss out there for the playbook today. Deal, no deal. Been a while since we had deal, no deal. We'll toss up a couple topics in regards to that. I want to talk more about the biggest takeaways from Bama's second scrimmage. We broke down a little bit of that on yesterday, and we'll get to that. AP All-American poll, that one of those All-American teams came out, Brailsford and Nicholson on it. Surprised that Booker's not on first team. We can look at that. If there's a better guard in the country than Booker, I want to see him play, but I definitely don't want to play against him. So those are just a few of the things that we have, and kind of deal, no deal. Yesterday I posted a video, said the law is coming, and that was in regards in regards to posting that video yesterday with Kendrick Law. I think he's being overlooked. I think the guy is going to be special this year. I think he's going to be absolutely special. So we'll keep working through all of those content. You may have something. You may have something that you want to get to this morning. Well, once again, you're always welcome to bring that to the table. And you can do that by calling us on the hotline at 205 342 9904. And you may have noticed there is no DC today. DC's taking a little time off out on assignment, but he will be back with us next week. But he did put up DC Capstone Report, so that is up. So please go out and check out DC Capstone Report over on his page, dccapstonereport.com, and we'll get him back in next week. We do have X with us this morning. So good morning, X. How you doing, sir?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you?
Doing well. All right. Well, let's keep things rolling. This morning, X, like I said, a couple different things that I was that wanted to hit on. Let's circle back. Well, let me throw out deal or no deal first. Let's throw out. We may have a couple different one of these, but we're not going to answer it in this first segment. Deal, no deal. Kendrick Law makes the biggest jump outside of. I don't know if anybody can make the jump that what's his name made, Devontae Smith. But from 1 year to the next, from an impact standpoint, Kendrick Law is going to have as big an impact on this season from 1 year to the next as anybody we've seen in that wide receiver room. So let that sink and marinate just a little bit. But let's circle back on the scrimmage from yesterday. We had Kennington on, and I don't know that I did a good enough job breaking down what all Coach had to say on yesterday, but man, he had some interesting things. I always listened. We're still trying to figure out exactly X what he means. You know, we got to a point where we pretty much knew when Coach Saban was talking to us, the players, that type of thing. I haven't figured that out completely yet with with Coach DeBoer yet, but he had. Let's see if I can get his opening comments here, and then we'll respond to it. But while I'm pulling up his opening comments, is there anything from the scrimmage that you had a little time to think about, a conversation from yesterday that you had the time to think about, and you go, yeah, I'm really excited about this. Can't wait to see more of this or anything like that.
I can't wait to see how Coach Womack is going to use all the different guys that we have from the front seven, the true defensive linemen, the edge rushing linebackers, the way he uses Campbell and Lawson and those guys on blitz packages, because we hadn't talked enough about both of those guys got to the quarterback a lot when used in those situations last year. Guys? Say that again.
Both of what guys?
Lawson and Campbell.
Continue.
On in the blitz packages last year. So I can't wait to see how they use this year in a scheme that is more geared towards blitzing.
Yeah,
so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and I think we may, one of my concerns, just not concerns from like Alabama per se, but just this type of defense in general, is the run stopping. That's always the reality of kind of your concern. when you put tight ends in the game, say you got a really good blocking tight end, and you have two big run stoppers in the middle. Then you have an outside linebacker in, and then you have kind of a hybrid defensive lineman, outside linebacker in the likes of, Overton or Latham. But I have 6-on-6, right?
Right.
And if I go, say I have to the tight end side, I may have numbers. If I can get if I'm going away from that backside defensive end and he has outside contain, my motion in the backfield X is I send a motion guy toward that guy while the play is happening. I run a reverse a time or two and make him start staying home. Now all of a sudden I'm running the ball the other way. I have a tight end on a guy like Overton, and now I have my guard and my tackle on the front side linebacker and front side defensive lineman, and now I have my backside guard and tackle. My backside center and backside guard and center up on the linebacker and the other defensive lineman. And now I have another guy that I can send down the field or whatever, and I'm still able to get up, or I can have him cut back and block, have the motion go and have a cutback, like a counter play. So that's my concern with the run, is that you can match up and get some advantages in the numbers with motion, and so it's going to be interesting to see how we use them. And maybe Alabama's going to put some big guys out there, and that's what I've seen and heard, that they are times where there's truly two linebackers, X, 4 linemen, the 2 defensive ends back like they played back in the day, like when we would have Copeland and Curry coming off the edge. Some of that type of play, and that can be a run stopper, but also be able to get to the quarterback. We'll come back on the other side. We'd like to get your thoughts once again. So we're going to come back out with some of the opening comments from Coach DeBoer. He said a lot. He hit a lot of different aspects of what's going on. We'll talk about that and break down what he had to say. Our deal, no deal question of the day is, the law is coming. Will Kendrick Law have the breakout season as a wide receiver like nobody's had other than maybe Devontae Smith? And I'll tell you my thoughts on that. I'd like to get your thoughts. You can call us once again at 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. As we get to break, you are listening to the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good Tuesday morning to you. Quiet ride so far for the time being. We're not looking at any major mishaps, but we do have construction zones, so that's something you want to be aware of. And on 359 northbound between 2059 and 15th Street, Stillman College, you do have long-term road work. Also 2059 eastbound between Joe Malisham and Tuscaloosa Coaling. Watch for that road work. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Welcome to Hey Taylor Electrical. Wendy, what's your question?
I know I've seen Taylor Electrical trucks and crews around the University of Alabama, the local schools, and the New River District Park, but I need to know, do you do work at people's homes?
Actually, we do, Wendy. Taylor Electrical takes pride in having the experience and knowledge to handle any electrical project.
Wow, that's awesome. Taylor Electrical sounds really customer friendly. How can I get in touch with y'all?
Just call or text us at 205-553-0958.
It's electric!
Award-winning singer-songwriter Scotty McCreery, Fall of Summer Tour. Saturday, November 16th, 8 p.m., Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. One of country's hottest stars, Scotty McCreery. On sale now at pearlriverresort.com. New album Rise and Fall available now. Scotty McCreery live.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers!
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Head to Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale. Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 instant gift. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The weather stays dry for the rest of the week. Lots of sunshine today, the high 89. Very pleasant tonight, a touch of fall in the air. Fair with the low at 62. Tomorrow and Thursday, sunny both days. Highs between 87 and 90. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9.
It's time for the Martin Houston Show. With the same hard-hitting, no-nonsense approach in which he played the game, Martin will take you inside the locker room, down on the field, and across the goal line with his in-depth analysis.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. You have timberland in West Alabama. You need to call North River Timber Company, LLC, timber harvesting, appraisals, and management. North River Timber Company, been doing it 11 plus years. Courtney White and Chase Pearson, either one of those guys will be able to help you and guide you in the right direction. You can call them at 205-242-5127 or 205-799-0665. Or if email is better, northrivertimberco@gmail.com. North River Timber Company, and Courtney White tells you that, hey, listen, having land, timberland is like having money in the bank. Get the maximum benefit out of your land. Call North River Timber Company, CO. All right, call them right now, 205-242-5127. Here's Coach and what he had to say, his opening comments from Scrimmage. And after we listen to that, we'll come back and get a couple phone calls, get your reactions, and don't forget to be thinking over the law is coming, deal, no deal. Will Kendrick Law have a breakout season like we've not seen from a wide receiver in a while, from 1 year to the next, short of what Devontae Smith was able to do in his Heisman campaign? We'll be back and talking to you about that in just a moment.
Scrimmage number 2, 2 weeks from today, we're on the field, game day. So days are counting down, and another really productive scrimmage. Different situations from what we probably got into just naturally, not even scripted or being intentional. Just a little bit more red zone inside the 10 work that happened at the end. Really, again, good give and take. I think the defense continues to. They did a good job against the run early. Offense hit a couple explosives. Just trying to give you an overall summary. I think, a couple takeaways by the defense, but did a great job of having to make it happen. Tip ball, diving player, great play. Love that from the defensive side, that when those plays were to be made, they made them. I think offensively, on the just flip it.
Jina langu ni Asawiti.
Well, let's react at this point into that convo there, X, and we'll finish up his thoughts there. When you look at what he said, he talked about red zone, offensive explosion. He talked about defensive turnovers and more. What was your biggest takeaway from that? And then there's one other piece that I'm going to circle back on that gets me really excited about this team.
When he's talking about the offense was was good, but had some turnovers, but it didn't seem like it was unforced errors. It was defense making great plays on the ball. And so you like to hear that your defense is coming up with situations that they're able to get in the way and use athleticism to force turnovers, but also that your offense isn't necessarily being careless with the ball, that they're making the right decisions, but just sometimes defense makes big enough plays that the ball ends up in their hands.
Yeah, he did say that they got some red zone work, both offensively and defensively. Offense made some explosive plays. So, boom, offense, that's what you want to hear. But you also want to hear defense making explosive plays. Well, how does defense make explosive plays? You don't want a defense that only gets interceptions and turnovers, X, when the other team makes mistakes, right? You want a defense that is, tipping the ball at the line of scrimmage and guys having to dive and he said had to make those plays, but they made them. So that's all cool in terms of the turnover side. There was one other thing that he said at the end of that I'm going to circle back on, but we got Pat wants to talk with us about deal, no deal with AK Deer's decision today. Pat, you're in on the hotline. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. And deal, no deal. AK Deer does not sign with Alabama or does not commit to Alabama today, and Alabama decides to show more love in Elba, Alabama, with Alvin Henderson, who some services has him ranked higher than AK Deer. And
what service has that?
I watched him. Several of them do. And I think on 3 has got him ranked number 2 or 3 running back in the country.
It's recruiting question.
I'm going to go no deal. I think he signs with Alabama.
I do too. I just said deal or no deal. If he doesn't sign that or doesn't commit to Alabama, but we go after Alvin Henderson.
So you think he's gonna sign, but you're saying if he doesn't, that Alabama's.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Deal or no deal. If he does not commit to Alabama today, that we start showing more love down in Elba, Alabama. I mean, I know they've gone to visit.
The first
him.
question is deal, no deal. Do you think he's gonna sign? Commit, not sign. Not sign.
I think
commit.
he is. I'm saying yes, he is. But if he doesn't, that do we start showing more love in South Alabama?
I don't think so. I don't think Henderson's been high on this staff's board at all. I think he kind of depends on where he commits. If he's down between Alabama, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State, if he commits to Ole Miss, I think we put pressure on Shy Mills Knight, because I feel like he was probably the option that we're looking at if he didn't sign, or if AK had stayed committed to Ole Miss. So I think that's where we go.
Yeah. Well, Henderson's playing in a very small pond down there, but he's a whale in that small pond. That there's no doubt about that. He averaged over 300 yards every game that I watched him, and that was in the state playoffs. And and 300 yards each game, that's pretty darn good. I don't care if you're playing against cheerleaders. But hey, other question on y'all's deal or no deal. That I say no. That Law does not. It is not the breakout wide receiver. That my breakout wide receiver is definitely
that's two
Williams.
different questions. The question.
He's not a breakout because he wasn't on the team last year.
Have
breakout.
That's right. There you go. Explain that again. This wasn't who's going to have the best wide receiver.
A breakout player is Ryan Williams might be the best wide receiver.
Okay.
But a breakout player is the guy that was on the team that improved from last year.
The key there, Pat, is not who will have the best season, whether that be Law, Williams, Bernard, Prentice, whatever. That's a separate question. The question is, I said the Law is coming. Every time I say that, you know what song pops in my head, Pat? I fought the Law and the Law.
Who shot the sheriff? And the Law.
Every time, but I'm telling you, Pat, this is what nobody's talking about. You go back and watch what few times Law touched the ball last year. He looked like he was a touchdown or a big play waiting to happen, especially when he ran the ball. The problem is they didn't do it enough. And so last night I posted on my Facebook page, the Martin Houston Show. I posted it last night, Pat. As of this morning, 54,000 views on that one thing. And I was like, the Law is coming. Is he gonna have the breakout year? And here's Pat, I'm gonna let you go to break with this, but let this sink in, Pat. The dude benches like 450. I saw a report the other day. He benches like 450. Pat, I was one of the strongest guys on the team, and I benched between 425 and 450. And now the difference was I could work out with mine. I wasn't a one-time max, okay? Okay. But that's still like they showed this was one of the greatest analogies I heard. Metcalf benches 3-something. I can't remember what it was, but they said that he is a 6 foot 6 foot tall Metcalf, meaning that he is unbelievably powerful. He squats over 600. Let that sink in. A wide receiver benching over 4. I don't care if it's 405 or 450, and squatting over 6. I don't care if it's 600 or 650. Okay, Pat. He hit you. You keep talking about all these guys. You must not know what he has in those legs. His top end speed was over 23 mph.
Yeah. Hey, Morton, does that at 23 miles an hour, does that equivalent to a
I don't know what it's equivalent to, but it's one of the fastest numbers anybody in Alabama.
I just was curious because half of the team now is running 22 to 23 miles an hour. Compared to last year.
He has the numbers on what Baloo has done is through the roof in speed, power, and explosion. My point behind that, Pat, is you have one of the most explosive guys by the number and one of the strongest guys by the number. And I think that's I ain't gonna tell you what I think it's gonna do. We're gonna get the break. I'll tell you on the other side.
All right. Have a blessed day, Morton.
But as we go to break here, guys, listen to that. Listen to those numbers now. Over 23x miles per hour. over 400 bench, and over 600 squat. And I'm not talking about a lineman in either point, and I'm not talking about Ryan Williams or any. Take the fastest guys on the team, the most explosive guys on the team, he's with them. Take the strongest guys on the team, he's with them. And he's all packed in a 200-plus pound body. Use him, coach.
At 5'11".
Use him, coach. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good Tuesday morning to you. Quiet ride so far for the time being. We're not looking at any major mishaps, but we do have construction zones, so that's something you want to be aware of. And on 359 northbound between 2059 and 15th Street, Stillman College, you do have long-term road work. Also 2059 eastbound between Joe Malisham and Tuscaloosa Coaling. Watch for that road work. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
Hey, this is Reagan, owner of R&R Cigars, the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, located at 2703 6th Street across from the Home 2 Suites. Come down to R&R and see why we're the ultimate cigar and bourbon experience. With over 165 bourbons and 5 private barrels, our selection of bourbon is unmatched. We have the best cocktails around and our cigar selection is legendary. Our lounge and service are world class. Come and experience the luxury of the mansion and see why it's a world-renowned cigar and spirits destination.
Congress is poised to pass a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. 82 million Americans risk losing the news, sports, talk, traffic, and vital emergency information they rely on. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to pass this bill now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Welcome to Hey Taylor Electrical. Wendy, what's your question?
I know I've seen Taylor Electrical trucks and crews around the University of Alabama, the local schools, and the New River District Park, but I need to know, do you do work at people's homes?
Actually, we do, Wendy. Taylor Electrical takes pride in having the experience and knowledge to handle any electrical project.
Wow, that's awesome. Taylor Electrical sounds really customer friendly. How can I get in touch with y'all?
Just call or text us at 205-553-0958.
It's electric!
Everybody loves Taco Casa. Everything we do in our store, we prepare in our store. You know, we hand cut all of our tomatoes. We block and shred our own cheese here in the store. So we still hand cut our chips, our sopapillas, our taco shells, our chimalupa bowls. Our chili takes about 4 to 6 hours to make every single day. The goal in that is to provide the freshest, best quality to our customers. So we just look at it as, hey, basically, we're your kitchen. You're just coming to eat in your kitchen. Taco Casa, under the biggest cactus in town.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. Powered by Box Eye Care. 205-342-0660 or boxeyecare.com. Dixie Battery Supply. They have all the batteries that you need. Find the commercial batteries that you're after. Power up any device that you need powered up. Never feel powerless. Again, stock up with batteries from the Tuscaloosa store. Visit DixieBatterySupply.com. So not only will you find the top battery brands and find the battery in stock that you need, you can also find reconditioned batteries starting at $39.99 plus tax with an exchange. Get rid of those old batteries because they have no more juice, and let them buy them back by the pound or by the unit. It doesn't matter. And also know that they have an awesome supply of golf carts there that they can also get you in, especially with football season just around the corner. All right, that's Dixie Battery Supply, DixieBatterySupply.com. All right, here's Coach DeBoer. He had a little bit more to say in those opening comments, and this gets me pumped, man. It's been a while. We've been asking for this, and maybe we get some of this back.
Offensively, on the just flip it. Some pass catches by the receivers, which were extremely competitive with great defense, and coming down with those balls was good to see. And the positioning by the defense was also good to see. So very physical. I thought it was a very physical scrimmage. It is definitely the most physical scrimmage we've had since we've been here. Very physical. I thought it was a very physical scrimmage. It is definitely the most physical scrimmage we've had since we've been here, out of the 4 or 5 counting the spring game. And so got through relatively.
I just have to open that up. I mean, what you take it.
Hey, that's what you love to hear. I mean, the physicality of it, the meanness of it. That's what you want getting to this point going into the season. You want to know that your team's fighting hard. That means guys are being competitive. That means guys are wanting it more. So I want to hear that each and every time, if possible, that, hey, this scrimmage was harder than the last one. This scrimmage was tougher than the last one.
I know you're saying harder and tougher. Harder and tougher can be done several different ways. Harder and tougher can be because it was hot. Harder and tougher can be because you ran 150 plays. Harder and tougher can be because you didn't give them a break, and all of those different things. Physical is a mindset. Physical is a mindset that manifests itself in how you play. And when was the last time you felt that about Alabama? Actually, when was the last time we thought physical when you talked about Alabama? I mean, let that sink in for a little bit. When we went from Jalen to Tua, to me, Alabama lost an edge, even though we were still winning. People didn't fear Alabama anymore in terms of fear of what Alabama would do to you on the field. I'll never forget Nick Saban's words when he came here. He wanted to make them quit. He used a little more language than I did. He wanted people to fear walking on the field with Alabama. Did you see the Manti Te'o interview? Have you seen that and heard about it? Have you seen it? Listen, audience, I need to find that audio. And if you don't know, it's been a while since we've had that feeling and that experience. He literally said that Notre Dame was getting ready to run out on the field. They're getting ready to run out on the field, and the people stopped them because Notre Dame was the number 1 team in the country, and the number 2 team, Alabama, had to go out first. And he said, man, they were hyped. They were making noise. They were hyped. And he said they stopped them and they were still hyped. And he said, then they ran out with their shirts up. And some in the interview said with their belly showing. He said, no, just with their shirts up. He said, and all of a sudden he noticed behind him, it was quiet. And he looked and he said, I turned around and I looked and I saw the look in their eyes. And he said, oh, well. To me, to hear. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to return back to the physical dominance that we had back in the day. But, the thing that we're going to talk about this more this week is what's been our identity the last couple of years? we're going to score a lot of points, right? But did anybody fear us? Were we physical? Did we get turnovers? We lost a lot. When we got the offensive point production, we lost a lot of the other aspects of what had defined us for a long time. Is it possible that this team gets that back? I'll let you respond, and we'll bring you in, J-Rob.
Yeah, I mean, if we get just a portion of that back in this era of college football, we can sit among the top for a long time coming. We don't have to necessarily get right back to the ground and pound days of, when we had Ingram and Richardson and Lacey and those guys. But if we're just a little bit more physical, a little bit meaner, this team is a hard team.
Yeah, we're going to be good offensively. If we can get the defense doesn't have to be a top 10, in my opinion. If we get to top 10, the rest of the college world's going to hate Alabama even more. I think they'll hate Alabama more if the board gets this team back there than they've hated us in the last 17 years, because everybody expected it once Saban got there. But they're not expecting it now. If this team is physical, look out. Look out. And I love it that I don't know how physical we are on a scale of 1 to 10. I don't know if we're, 60% of what we were when Saban was here or 50% of when we were Saban here. But what I do know is this coaching staff, through their practices, instead of the team getting less physical, which was happening at Alabama under the Tua and all of these other offenses, we were getting less and less physical, less and less, fewer and fewer turnovers. If we're making plays and being physical defensively, all I know is he says from one guy to the next, from one practice to the next, we've gotten more physical, and that we had our most physical scrimmage. That's all I know, which means we're going in the right direction. J-Rob, you're in with Martin and Xavier. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Martin and X. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Hey, I'm definitely a deal on Kendrick Law. That comparison to Deebo Samuels that you made a few times ago, I don't know what show it was, but that not only is probably true, it excites me because, he's an exciting player. Just plays like that Auburn touchdown that was called back for a ticky-tack. I don't think it was a hold that they called down there at Pat Dye officiating field. That excites me about him, and I think he's going to be a breakout player. I don't think we used him enough last year. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, we definitely didn't use him enough last year. I mean, you're talking about one of the most explosive players potentially in college football, and he wasn't used very much. And every time he did get his hands on the ball, you felt like something was going to happen. But if you only do that 15, 20 times throughout the course of the season, you're missing out on a lot.
J-Rob, somebody needs to help me understand. I'm not the smartest guy in the world.
Come on now, Martin. Don't sell yourself short.
I'm close, J-Rob. but not necessarily smartest. But I'm gonna play just play this for a second. I don't understand how this happens, and then you don't come back to it. Just help me understand how this happens, J-Rob, and then you don't come back to it. You ready, J-Rob? All right.
Conversion on 2 attempts. And they're going. And here comes the guy Gary was talking about. Kendrick Law will take it to the house. Conversion on 2 attempts. And they're going. And here comes the guy Gary was talking about. Kendrick Law will take it to the house.
If you're watching this video, X, It's 4th and 1 at the 41. Kendrick Law runs by this DB so fast that the DB he doesn't even respond, J-Rob. I mean, he literally just looks at him go by. It got called back. But nobody no one touched him. How do you not go back to that?
Did you see the call though, Martin? Did you see the call? It was just a terrible call.
Yes, it was. Auburn, it was bad call. Okay, but I don't blame the officials in this case. If it works that well, run it again.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's
time we have that we could have ran that play throughout that game. We had 2 touchdowns called back that game. It's not even close if we have a decent offensive coordinator. Anyway.
Yeah, 4th and 31 would never had to happen, had they went back to that play. I mean, that was a turning point in the game. Absolutely. Right there. But one thing I did want to ask you guys before I got off, I know you're getting close to a break, but this physicality is probably alludes to what my question is. Are these injuries that we're getting, does that concern you, or is that just part of what's the normal business at this time of the year? And I'll get off. I know y'all got to get to a break. Y'all have a great day.
I think it's normal. I think this coach just shares more. And we'll X, you can respond to that on the other side of the break. I think it's normal, X. I just think that this staff, I think they just share more. If that makes sense. I think we know more because we see more. Last year, the guys would be out during the media viewing period, X, and then they would go back in and get treatment. So as we go to break, I'll leave you with these 9 seconds of awesomeness that's coming in 2024.
Conversion on 2 attempts. And they're going, and here comes the guy Gary was talking about. Kendrick Law will take it to the house.
We'll be back on the other side to keep things rolling right here on the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Coming up starting at 2 p.m., we're going to feature Mike Detillier, WWL, the Big 870. Brett McMurphy explains why he believes in the Alabama Crimson Tide. Right here on The Game, Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest running sports program in Tuscaloosa. The Game with Ryan Fowler. Weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good Tuesday morning. The Democratic National Convention got started in Chicago yesterday with a goodbye speech from President Biden and his handover of the party standard to Vice President Kamala Harris. Alabama delegates attending the convention say there's much more energy there than they had expected. Click TuscaloosaThread.com for more local news, sports, and weather coverage. It's absolutely free all throughout the day. Don Hartley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Happy Tuesday, everyone. We've got some heavy traffic right now on Highway 11, and this is inside the construction zone in Coaling. And in both directions, you're going to find that in between, or the heaviest between Palmer Street and Lower Coaling Road. And then there is the construction zone on 2059 eastbound between Western Bypass, or Joe Melisham, and Highway 11 as well. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's the year-end clearance sale at Townsend Nissan going on now. You can save thousands. See BJ or Kylan today at Townsend Nissan, your savings place.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This year, Dell Technologies Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping computer aid,
whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care. Hey, don't forget to go check out Taco Casa. Taco Casa, quality, taste, and value under the biggest cactus in town. 50 years of doing it the right way since 1974. 6 locations in Tuscaloosa and West Alabama. That's Taco Casa, tacocasa.com. They will take care of you. Just give them a chance to do so by visiting them at one of their locations. That's Taco Casa, tacocasa.com. It's now time for the Harvest Church 2-minute warning. Really quick, before we bring Virgil Williams in, a couple comments. Have to shout out a couple people. First and foremost, KG, Kerry Good. He wasn't, I say the original number 35. I could not wait to get into that jersey to wear it after he had worn it, and praying for him as he continues to shine the light through his battle and struggle. Thanks, KG, for jumping on this morning. Also, RS Sports, I think we used to know him as Blind Squirrel Sport, but he's back yesterday. Also, Virgil Williams has something he want to share, so I'm going to skip his comments. George Teasley X says, I've watched every Washington game last year, maybe not the talent level of Alabama, but offensively they looked awesome, and defensively they were scrappy. So, loving that. And then, of course, Curtis Moore II comment about Tommy Rees's inability to follow a game plan and stick with it like he did against the Auburn play that we just showed, what he did against Jalen and LSU, Jalen's most dominant game last year, and then we didn't do that anymore, and how Justice Haynes was using the Rose Bowl and then not using the Rose Bowl in the second half. Him and Jam both did great in the first half, didn't go back to it. Just think about if when Tua was here, if they had done the same thing against Georgia. Remember how they brought the freshman in? Everybody always say Tua. Tua was the freshman at quarterback, but it was the freshman at left tackle and the freshman at running back, Najee and Leatherwood, that also helped Alabama get over the hump. Tommy Rees didn't know how to use that. Let's get to Virgil, and I'll let you respond to what Virgil has to say. Virgil, you're in on the hotline. What's on your mind, sir? Good morning,
Martin.
Hey, belated happy birthday.
Talking about. Well,
68?
thank you. That's
68?
kind of what I was talking about. Yeah.
Okay. All
57.
Right. Happy birthday, man.
All right. So that's why last night we were out eating for my birthday, and in walks Wilkin Formby and Elijah Pritchett.
Hold on. You talking about the two guys that's battling for the same position? Actually, yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Together.
Say that again.
Sat at the same table, ate together. But, I was kind of curious. I said, hey, it's my birthday, man. I need to go over and get a picture with these guys. Nah, I'm going to leave them alone. They get enough of that. So I just wanted to leave them alone. Let them enjoy their night. I did get a big roll tide when I walked out, told them roll tide when we walked out. But them two guys, I'm 6'2", 215, 220. If I would have took a picture with them, I would have looked like a little man. Those are two massive individuals. And they look ready to do some grounding and some pounding. And I was like, and there was another young man, I believe, plays football, was there as well with another group of folks. I don't know which one he was, but he was he was another very large individual. So it was seeing him, and you don't think about seeing these guys out this time of year, getting ready for the season. They're in full-fledged, game, getting ready for game time and stuff. but to see them out enjoying themselves, having a good time, but like you said, two guys vying for the same position, and you'd have thought they were two guys that were, say, the quarterback and center. They were just hanging out, having a great time with their friends. And there was another large gentleman. I don't know who he was. I don't know if he was a coach or not, but he was pretty good size himself. So, but I thought it was just pretty cool just seeing them. And like I said, 6'2", I've always thought, I'm a tall guy. Yeah, no, I'm short.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks, Virgil, for calling in, and we'll probably add a little bit of that conversation to tomorrow, because I want to talk about identity on tomorrow, X. But I'll let you respond to Virgil in those two guys, as well as just you close it out with your thoughts on Deal No Deal. We got about 2 minutes.
I mean, you love to see that when guys are competitive, but they can always be friends as well. I mean, you've talked about that from times when it was you and Kevin Turner. You were going after Kevin's job every day, but y'all were still extremely close. And so that's what you love to see, when these guys can still be the best of friends, even though they might not, or even though they're competing for the same position. And that's what you want out of this team: friendship among.
Yeah, I'll let you. We'll dig. We'll respond to the Deal No Deal question tomorrow on K-Law, because I think he is underused, and we'll see what we can expect from him. So we'll move that to tomorrow. And I will tell you, this is a kudos to Wilkin Formby and his family, the Wilkin family, for Taco Casa, because what you find here is, he was the part and parcel, a huge reason that our left tackle came back. And this was a position. Just think, if he doesn't, if that relationship doesn't happen, he's the right guard and Pritchett is the right tackle, and Pritchett is probably the left tackle. So he brought that guy back, and now he's competing for his own job as a result. And that just shows the character of that family, and they've been a long-time supporter of mine. So I wanted to give them a shout out in that sense. Now, you don't have to get the details, X, but Deal No Deal, is K-Law, is the law coming in 2024?
100%.
We'll break that down. We'll talk about identity. We'll continue to talk about this team being physical. We'll talk about the role of the running back. We'll talk about cornerbacks. It's a wild card Wednesday. You can get in on the conversation, 205-342-9904. Hey, this has been the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care, boxeyecare.com, 205-342-0660. Go check out Daniel Box, OD, and his team and staff, and they'll take care of you. As we get out of here, remember, Harvest Church, where we love God, love people. We'd love to have you come visit us. Check out hctuscaloosa.com, hctuscaloosa.com. Trust in the Lord always. Lean not in your own understanding. All your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide, everybody.